So kind of before we get into hips, then my kind of final question really with regards to, again, just wrapping up this sort of bone aseptic loosening thing, and where does the argument for a cemented versus uncemented knee prosthesis come into that? Again, what's the bearing, what's the kind of concept behind, is one preferable to another in terms of that bone health loosening, that bone cement interface or bone prosthesis interface? Again, I've heard sort of arguments both sides of the coin on this one.
Absolutely, and that's because nobody's really sure. When I was training, there had been a bit of a drive for using uncemented knee replacements, total knee replacements, and at that stage, in the 90s, coming towards the millennium, it seemed like a lot of those uncemented knee replacements were actually failing in a way that we don't see with uncemented hip replacements, for example. And so there was a very major swing away from uncemented implants for knees. Everything was put in cemented, which was, my training was with cemented implants. I think there is a potential role for uncemented implants. I think, the thigh bone, the end of the thigh bone, seems to be something that would accept an uncemented femoral component quite easily, because when you're doing a knee replacement, you contour the end of the thigh bone, and then it's a metal cap which fits over the end of the thigh bone. So if you cut the bone just slightly bigger than the metal work that you're putting on, you'll get a good jam fit. So initial stability is not a problem. And then obviously we have very bone-friendly coatings that we can put inside the metalwork where the bone is, so that over time the bone grows into the metalwork and secures it into place long term. The shin bone, the top of the shin bone, the tibial component, was always the more difficult one, because it's not a contained contact area. You can try and create a hole in the bone and then jam in an implant into that surface, but you never know whether it's going to rock or tilt a bit. And so that was always the side that was more difficult. I think they've improved things. And I mean, for example, with the partial knee replacements, one of the biggest selling partial knee replacements in the UK is called the Oxford partial knee replacement. And they have both a cemented and an uncemented version that's now available. And the data says that the uncemented version performs equally as well as the cemented version. With total knee replacements, I'm still not sure. I think the jury is still out to a certain extent. I wouldn't necessarily be advocating uncemented total knee replacements at this stage, but I'm open to be impressed by improving data as it comes available.
Evolving area, from the sounds of it.